Just the ability to address different needs and issues in peacekeeping is one of the main reasons why it's important to have women. Another reason, I guess, it's the understanding of the conflict.
We make sure that even when we organize our workshop for civil society organization, there is always the presence of women within the variety of the groups that are attending the workshop. Additionally, we are training our own monitors, the international observers who are monitoring the eventual violations on gender aspect. Women leaders in various ways contribute to these efforts. And I think we're talking about different fields as well, whether we're talking about security, health, education, justice. We shouldn't have one model when we think about conflict prevention efforts in Africa.
One of the key mechanisms I can think of is obviously capacity building and just making sure that women are not just there in enough numbers, but that they are in the positions that can influence.
Whatever action or intervention is taken from governments, it's very important to be aware of these various dimensions.
The peace agreement in South Sudan is very gender sensitive, but they have two specific chapters on sexual gender-based violence, which are not acceptable according to parties, and they should be reported. So we make sure that our international observers are trained, so they got the same visibility.
Involving women in governance and decision-making more broadly will make a difference to how they participate in peacekeeping and in conflict.
I would say, one, it's about making sure there is a greater understanding of the roles of women in those various conflicts. And so when women are brought to the table, there's greater understanding of the gender dimension, the roles of women, the roles of men, and how to take that into account in relation to the peace process. But also the second element is about making sure that women are protected, that they are actually given legitimate space in relation to these peace processes. And so actors need to enable, create that space as well.
Every time that our team goes around, including myself as gender advisor, and we visit the location on the field, the villages after a clash or just on our regular monitoring missions, we make sure that we have a separate meeting with women in the village or with the women organization if it's a bigger town.
Something that strikes me is that it's very important that there are gender advisors in these UN peacekeeping missions that are at the very top, close to the leadership, in order to provide the information that is needed to really understand, again, the various dynamics that are going on the ground. It's not just about numbers, it's also about content, it's also about understanding power relations, differentiated impact, men, women, early warning signs that can be happening on the ground, and having the gender glasses can help undetect these changing patterns.
To get a space where we really can discuss about the results of the monitoring reports of CTSAMM and do something about it when it comes about violations against women. So having a secure space for them to report their situation, it's also a challenge.
Forthcoming years, for example, is the changing nature of conflicts. We are dealing with the types of conflict that don't care very much about human rights or the Geneva Convention. The perpetrators are getting more extreme, and the ability for women to get into that field is a little bit limited.